be amazed. Prime time interview with Derrick Hayes. Prime time, biggest names in the game. Prime time, new names to love the same.
Yes. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Welcome to Prime Time. Like I tell people, the M is silent and it sounds like it's not even there. Sometimes you might think it's prime time, but it's prime time. See, sometimes in life, the smaller things will quietly lead you to the bigger opportunities. I go by the name of the Entertainer. Follow me on all social media platforms at Entertainer and even on Cash App. Yes. You might not understand that me and the guy I'm interviewing, we both had the hats on tonight. We both taking charge. I'm here with not only an artist, but a country music artist. Not only is he an artist, but he's a songwriter. Ladies and gentlemen, he goes by the name of Richard Lynch of the Richard Lynch Band. Follow him and his crew at www.richardlynch.com. How you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. What city are you in right now?
I live in a little town called Waynesville, Ohio. It's about 30 miles north of Cincinnati, maybe 18 or 20 miles southeast of Dayton, Ohio, in the southwestern part.
Okay, Dayton, you got the Flyers.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, are you Gold Star or Skyline?
Well, I kind of like Gold Star, but I'm not going to pass up either one. So
okay. You got to keep your sales going. Hey, you didn't think I know that one, did you?
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure to meet you, man. It's a pleasure to get to know you. You know, I had to do my research, so I had to listen to some of your songs and man, you got some. Hey, where I'm from, they say, man, he can jam. He has it going on.
Well, thank you. I love that good old country music, and I'm just trying to do my part to keep it alive and well out there.
Hey, it's no problem, man. So we're gonna I have a few questions through your first name of Richard, and we're gonna make some things happen.
Sounds good.
The R's for radio. Please talk about your song "Pray on the Radio" and what inspired it. Because I really like that. More and more people need to hear that song.
Well, thank you. That's a really an amazing event how that song came to be. I was doing an Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas radio tour with a song called "We're American Proud," and we were going from station to station to station all over those 4 states, and was having quite a good run, and it was getting a lot of airtime. And I had just left the radio station, and our manager called me. It says, "Hey, Richard, be expecting a phone call from a California station, and he would like to do an interview with you." I thought, well, that's really cool. I'll do that. So keep in mind, we're driving on I-40 westbound, heading towards Memphis, Tennessee at this next time. We're heading to our next radio show. And I no sooner hung up the phone, and sure enough, the California disc jockey called me and said, "Richard, I really love your music. I see how busy you are." He said, "As busy as you are," he said, "I think the Lord must be traveling with you." And I laughingly and grinningly said, "I'd like to think so. We're out here putting some miles on the road." Well, the interview went on, and such a nice man. Toward the end of the interview, he asked me this. He says, "Do you mind if we pray on the radio?" Well, I had never been asked that before or since. And never would there be normally a pad of paper anywhere to be found. But we were driving my truck, and sure enough, there was a pad of paper between me and my wife that day. And normally you would never find a pen or a pencil with a search warrant, but there was a pen right there in the dashboard. So I'm driving down the road, doing an interview, trying to write this song that happened right then. It was coming right then. So basically the gist of the song is how the conversation with me and this disc jockey from California had during a live interview. And every word in that song is the absolute truth. It had to happen right then.
Man, that's a blessing, man. Hey, if you're listening right now, make sure you go listen to that song "Pray on the Radio," because it's a blessing. It's gonna bless your heart. It's gonna bless your soul. You've been in the business for a while, so
Long
the
time.
high your names for insight. If you were in a room with a group of up and coming artists that want to do country music, what insight would you get them to succeed? Because some people think they can just jump in it and they're gonna be stars.
Well, there may be the exception to the rule, but for the most part, it takes an awful long time of hard work and dedication. And I learned that you need to surround yourself with people that believe in you. You got to surround yourself with people that have a similar mindset as you, with a similar goal as you. And, don't take no for an answer, especially you young folks out there. Make sure you have those folks that really want to have your best interest in mind, and you'd be amazed ultimately where you'll end up at, because nobody can do it on their own. They have to have some help. But
Right.
you don't want anybody sidelining you. You want somebody who genuinely wants to see you succeed. So surround yourself with good people that'll make your success happen.
Yeah, I like that. You said hard work, dedication. Don't take no for an answer. Surround yourself with people that believe in you. I mean, that's a lot. Hey, that's a lot of sentiment for your toast right there. I like that. Hey, the C is for country. Man, you got another good song I heard called Country Music Isn't Country Anymore. Do you still feel that way? And also, in the song, you mentioned some of your heroes, and who are they? Now, do you think country music is the same? Because you said country music isn't country anymore. And also, who are some of those heroes that you talk about?
Well, I do feel the same. Some of my heroes would be people like George Jones and Conway Twitty and Merle Haggard, and then in the later years with people like Alan Jackson and George Strait, Keith Whitley. Those people have been my heroes since childhood and still are today. I think country music has lost a lot of its way, in the sense that it's not really putting emotion, and it's kind of like taking a lot of emotion out of country music these days. You'll hear a story, but sometimes it's just about red dirt and somebody drinking a beer, which is fine, but there's a whole lot more to country music than just that. Country music is supposed to be good, happy, sad, all the emotion, and we're leaving a lot of the real emotions out of it. The current country music is my evaluation.
Right. No, that's good, because they say the same thing with with different types of music.
Right.
Everybody talking about one way, when like you said, you got different stories to the catalog.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Now the H is for hard. Now you remember am I right? The Ohio Country Music Hall of Fame and the Independent Music Hall of Fame.
That's right, on both counts. Ain't that amazing how an old farm boy from southwestern Ohio it can be inducted into those amazing industries? I mean, that's pretty gratifying, don't you think?
Right. I mean, that's a blessing, man, because some people don't make it to one Hall of Fame, let alone.
There is nothing better for and I'm speaking for myself, for a singer-songwriter to be included into those wonderful establishments, because I've put my life, and I've worked awful hard for many, many, many years, and still do. And for someone to think enough of me and my music to induct me into those Hall of Fames, it's pretty humbling, and it makes me feel like, well, all these years have not gone by in vain. Someone's kind of noticed,
Right. So the A is for a better place. You have a song called A Better Place. What can we do as a society to help us get back to our world where we all live in a better place?
Well, I think we all need to be a little more understanding. I think we all need to kind of take a deep breath and open our eyes and realize there's a whole big world out there with a bunch of people with individual needs. All our needs aren't the same, but all have needs. And if we can all put our mind with that one thing in mind, that we all have a maker upstairs and he's looking out for us, and we can help each other along the way, I think we can make for a better place before we get to see the man upstairs.
Okay. I'm with that. I'm with that. He talking that talk. That's that RL. RL with a story to tell. Hey, the R is for reason. Now, what do you feel is your reason to be alive?
Well, I think the reason I'm alive is I've got a beautiful daughter, a beautiful wife, and 3 little granddaughters and 2 little grandsons that sure think an awful lot of me and our farm, and they can come and romp and have a great time here on our farm here in Waynesville, Ohio. And I'm thankful that I can give them an opportunity to see a countryside of life that a lot of folks don't necessarily have that opportunity. You know, we grow hay and we have horses and we have donkeys and we have chores. And I'm thankful that I can show that and bestow that into the younger generation. And maybe they can learn a little bit from that way of seeing my life. Maybe they can learn a little bit from that way of life and take it with them as they go through life.
So if I come to Waynesville, Ohio, right?
Yes, sir.
Am I gonna get some of them cat head biscuits?
Buddy, if you come, we'll make some cat head biscuits, some red eye gravy, and we'll have a big old breakfast. I promise you.
Oh boy! Hey, how far are you from Pittsburgh?
Oh man, you know, people have been really enjoying that new song of mine called Cat Head Biscuits. And I think the whole world knew what a cat head biscuit was, but I'm having to teach people an awful lot of it.
I'll be honest, I had to look it up too. I like that, man.
It's just a big old fluffy biscuit with some awesome gravy on it. That's how I was raised growing up, and but it's hard to beat. You get a big mouthful of that, and you're going to remember it for a while.
But if I put some of your song titles in a short story, I say pray for the radio. But I also say country isn't country anymore because you ain't had any of them cat head biscuits.
Man, you're right on. You've been doing your homework. That's all I can say.
And guess what'll happen if you eat a cat head biscuit? You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a better place. It's gonna be a better place.
You're gonna ask for another one.
Oh man, cat head biscuit. I'm gonna go tell my wife, look here. If you want anything else from me, I need something from you. She gonna say, I need some cat head biscuits. I'm telling you. The D is for dreams, man. The D is for dreams. Now, is there any dreams that you haven't lived?
Well, I've been an awful lucky gentleman. I've made an awful lot of friends. I've played music for an awful long time. I've got some wonderful people that's as big in music business as they can be. But I've never played the stage of the Grand Ole Opry. Okay. And I would like to say someday I did that. You know, it's not a game breaker. It's by no means. I've done an awful lot, and I'm so proud of what I've accomplished in life. But if I have to pick that one dream, it'd be nice to say I graced the stage of that center circle where all my heroes stood. That'd be really neat.
Hey, see, but you just put it into the universe, so it could happen in the future. You never know. Before we go, is there anything you'd like to add or share?
Well, I want to say very special thank you for letting me be a part of your show. And seriously, if you're in Waynesville, Ohio, you stop by, you're welcome anytime. And we'll make sure you get some cat head biscuits, some red eye gravy, and some good country music right here on the farm.
Oh man, that's the triple. That's the triple. What they call that? The triple threat.
Triple header, baby.
He said cat head biscuits, right? Red eye gravy and some country music. Come on now. Hey, I'm gonna say it again for everybody listening. Cat head biscuits, red eye gravy, and country music.
Awesome, brother.
Now that's a new way to say catch the red eye, right?
Hey, it is, isn't it?
Hey, they might think you catching a plane, but I'm trying to go get a plate.
That's right.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's been wonderful. Been wonderful here on Prime Time with the country music artist. Not just an artist, but a songwriter. He goes by the name of Richard Lynch. And you can check him out on his website, richardlynchband.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about praying. You got a prayer on the out of this interview tonight. We talked about insight for the up and coming artists. He told us why country music isn't country anymore, and he says just his opinion. We talked about him as a Hall of Famer, the independent country music Hall of Fame, the Ohio. Come on now. See, and you switch that around, right? You got the independent, the Hall of Fame, country music, Ohio. He's doing it big. You can't, and no matter what you say about Richard, you can't take that away from him. Not only that is, he has a song called A Better Place. He's hoping, he's singing, he's praying. He gave us his reason through his wife, his daughter, his children, his grandchildren. He gave us his dream, the Grand Ole Opry. I think it might happen one day. Ladies and gentlemen, we bringing you the biggest names in the game. We even bringing you the new names. So check us out on Prime Time. It's a great experience. It's a great way to get your name out there. It's a great way to tell the world that you have something to offer. And follow me when you can at Untitled on all social media platforms and even on Cash App. And I'm going to let my friend Zay Sanford, he's another singer-songwriter that I connect with. And maybe one day he'll do a song with Richard Lynch. You never know what can happen. But ladies and gentlemen, check us out. And Zay Sanford is Zay Sanford Music. Gonna take us away.
You will be amazed. Prime time interview with Derrick Hayes. Prime time, biggest names in the game. Prime time, new names to love to say.